exactly the mitzvah that the Rambam is telling us. We have an obligation to sanctify God's name. One of the ways of doing it, says the Rambam, the idea of this commandment is that we are commanded to publicize this true Jewish faith that believes in one God and should not fear that anyone will harm them in consequence of doing so. See, here the Rambam is telling us that it's not enough to just be Jewish. You have to publicize your Judaism. You have to publicize your belief in one God, your belief in the mitzvot, your belief in the Torah. Publicize it. Be proud of it. Furthermore, if you see someone is going against Judaism, violating the 13 principles of faith, preaching heresy, you have an obligation to publicize their heresy. That's part of sanctifying God's name. You can't just sit there idly doing nothing. You have an obligation to sanctify God's name. Sanctify your beliefs that are contrary to the heretic's belief. Says the Rambam, one has to publicize his belief in the Torah, his belief in God, his belief in Judaism, to the extent where even if a tyrant would seek to coerce him, to deny the exalted one, we must not heed him. Rather, we should give our lives, meaning we should die not to deny God. We must not even let him, meaning the tyrant, we must not even let him receive the impression, even through an external gesture of acceptance, that we have denied God. Through our hearts, though our hearts are steadfast in the belief in an exalted one. This, by the way, highlights the mistake of the Marranos, and unfortunately others throughout history, other Jews throughout history, that when the evil decree was published by the government at the time, whether it be in Spain or in other countries, that decreed that the Jews have to either convert to Christianity or leave. Many of them left, but some did not want to leave because they had all of their money there. And when you left, you couldn't take your house, you couldn't take your money. You were leaving with the clothes on your back. Meaning you had 10 million in the bank, now nothing. Now nothing. Everybody left with nothing. Everybody literally was leaving with nothing. Everybody started from scratch. So many people didn't want to leave. How am I going to leave my business? I'm making $1 million a month. How am I going to leave my house? It's my life savings. How am I going to leave, all of these things? So, okay, well, the only way for you to stay is converting to Christianity. Yeah, but how could I convert to Christianity? I believe in one God, not three. How could I convert to Christianity? I believe in God has no body or the likeness of a body. You guys believe that he became a human. How could I believe in Christianity? It's considered idolatry. Well, buddy, you want to stay? You have to convert to Christianity. So some of the people said, you know what? Let me just give them the impression that I believe in it. Tell them, yeah, I believe in this one, and the son, the prostitute, and the Ghostbusters. I believe in all that stuff. Sure, no problem. No problem. The bastard and the prostitute and all the spirits and the Ghostbusters, I believe in everything. Sure, no problem. We have a mitzvah to mock idolatry. Hence the reason why we're doing it in every lecture. Especially when they killed us for it. So now Rabotai Yekalim, person thought he fooled them. Why? He gave them the impression that he believes. HaKadosh Baruch Hu made sure that everyone knew he was not happy with this. Why? You are not allowed by any way to give anyone the impression that you do not believe in the Torah, while inside your heart you still believe. Many of the Marranos did this because they didn't want to leave. They didn't want to leave all these countries. So they pretended to be Christians, but then at home they still would practice their Judaism in a limited way. And to show how HaKadosh Baruch Hu was unhappy with all of this, many of them got caught and then burned at the stake in the most horrible, vicious way, tortures, terrible things. Says the Rambam, we're not allowed to ever fear anything happen to us, to such an extent where even if a tyrant would seek to coerce us, we must not even hint to such a person that we don't believe in the Torah. This commandment, says the Rambam, is referred to as Kiddush Hashem, sanctification of the name, which every Jew has been commanded. In other words, we must hand ourselves over to death at the hands of the tyrant in expression of our love of the Exalted One and in our belief in His oneness. Meaning, if you have only one way, either convert to idolatry or die, a Jew must die. And Rambam gives an example of what happened at the time of the Bet HaMikdash, where Nebuchadnezzar Rasha